Hailie, can you just talk about like your decision to go from stock cars, now you're entering the open wheel world?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely like, I feel like it's been a great transition. I feel like everyone's been super welcoming. I have a great team. Everyone's just been super helpful. A great engineer. And it's definitely a challenge for sure. It's totally different than anything that I'm used to. I think the biggest thing for me is the physical side, getting stronger. And I feel like just trying to get stronger in a hurry. Because like in the past, NASCAR is not a super physical form of racing, and so I've never really had to work on certain things for NASCAR for my physical strength. So like working on that side of things, I feel like I've been trying to do so much in such a short period of time, which it's nice now that after St. Pete we get like a little span of time to where I can keep working at it, keep chipping at it. Obviously St. Pete I know is going to be a curveball for me a little bit here, just because I've never been on a street course. I've never even been to this race before, and it's just all new to me. So I'm just trying to like take what I can from it and just kind of get through this weekend and go from there.
One of the best stock car drivers of all time, Jimmy Johnson, went from stock cars into open wheel, and things didn't go so well for him. How difficult is that to transition from that form of racing into this one?
Yeah, it's super hard. It's just, there's a lot of different factors. I think the physical side of it plays a huge part, but also, and I think it plays a part with your timing as a driver. When you have like power steering in a stock car, your reactions can be so much quicker because you're not fighting against the wheel, and I think that's something that's huge here that makes it a lot more difficult, and not just physically hard, but I think just the change, the transition of it. But I'm not exactly sure about Jimmy or anything like that, so I can't answer anything for him, but I'm talking about in my perspective. So it's definitely coming from, there's not many people have come from the stock car side over to the open wheel side, so especially like trying to do it full time. So I know it's going to be a challenge. I know it's going to be hard at first, but we try to hit our stride and go from there.
I seem to recall a test you did, I want to say it was Gateway a few years ago, in an open wheel car. Is that where you first kind of, is that where this idea first started?
That was, I did a ride-along there, and honestly, no, never even thought about it. That was the only IndyCar race I had ever watched up until that point. So it definitely wasn't on my radar at that time, just because that was like kind of peak of my K&N days when I was winning a few races, and so I was so focused on that side of things that I didn't really have any aspiration to come to IndyCar, but obviously now things change, and over time, just seeing a different avenue.
Can you recall when this deal came together, when you first knew that you were going to be doing the Indy NXT season?
I mean, I think it was right after about Iowa, I believe it was, the IndyCar race at Iowa. I went there, checked it out, because I was thinking about it. I was talking to my fiance, my manager, my dad, my parents, everybody, and just kind of seeing what was next, what the options were, and I was like, okay, do I go back? Do I go race trucks? Do I fill in the rest of the year with some more races? I had a few people reach out about doing a few NASCAR races, but I really wanted to be in a quality car or truck, whatever I was in. And obviously those rides, if you try to hop in halfway through the season, are taken up. So trying to patch something together didn't seem like a good idea at that time. And I had that conversation with my sponsors too, which they were super understanding, which was really nice. And so just going and kind of looking at that side of things, I was like, okay, once we went to Iowa, I kind of saw the vibe of everything, walked through the pit area, met a bunch of people, talked to a few teams. I had gone to Nashville, talked to a few teams again there, and that's when after that is when I had started talking to Mike over at HMD. He had reached out to me, and everything just kind of started coming to fruition from there.
And finally, do you have a certain goal for this season? Can you give yourself a goal?
I mean, I think I don't have many goals for this race. So I think it's just so different for me. It's so hard to know what to expect when I haven't been on a street course and raced one of these cars before. So I think there's just a lot of unknown. But I think once we get to Barber, once we get to like the next race and everything, that's when I can start setting goals for myself, because we did do a test at Barber, so I do have some laps there. I have an idea of at least where my baseline is to know where I can work from. I obviously want to do a lot better on the ovals because I feel like that's where I came from, so maybe I'll know a little bit more there than I do on the road courses. But we go to a few tracks that I've been to before, which is nice. I'm excited for Gateway, so that'll be a cool one. Yeah, no problem.
Steven Stump of FrontStretch.com here. Come back for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.